Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to let you in on the ultimate secret to achieving financial freedom. As an accountant with years of experience under my belt, I've seen it all when it comes to managing money. I've seen people take shortcuts, try hacks, and even engage with very risky financial products when trying to get out of debt or to build wealth. I know it can be very overwhelming, like eating an elephant. Where do you even start? Well, let me tell you that the path to financial freedom is a lot easier than you might think. It may be hard to do at the beginning, but the steps involved are pretty basic and just require someone who is strong-willed and willing to change to enable them to be free from debt and onto the path to building some serious wealth. Let's begin. Step 1. Save £1,000 for your starter rainy day fund. The first step before anything would be to save and put aside £1,000. This must be done as quickly as possible. You can sell some things around the house, do some immediate overtime, or have a garage sale. Use sites like eBay or Vinted and generate this money and have it put aside. This money should be easily accessible in a separate bank account, or it can be cash in hand or be stashed under your mattress for all I care. And it goes without saying that this money must be yours, i.e. it's not a loan from family or friends. This is your emergency fund, which you store and you do not touch. This is only to be used for those emergencies such as an unexpected car or boiler breakdown, or unforeseen expense which you didn't plan for. The purpose of this is, as you're starting out your journey to financial freedom, you don't want to get deeper into debt whilst you're working on these steps, so this acts as much as an insurance policy covering your own back and stopping you from getting back into debt. I read a worrying article this week that more than 11 million people, or 1 in 3 of the working population in the UK, have less than £1,000 in savings. This is very worrying. I don't know how some of you who fall into this category sleep at night. If an unexpected bill comes, or you lose your job or your car breaks down, where do you get the money from to cover these costs? Of course, one just goes deeper into debt. If you already have savings in excess of £1,000, for example you have £10,000 saved, then you are already £9,000 over the required step, meaning that this £1,000 in step 1 should be set aside and the remainder should be brought forward to the next step. Step number 2. Pay off all your debts except the mortgage using the debt reduction strategy. So you've got your £1,000 emergency fund set aside. Now you shouldn't really have any savings or cash in hand that's doing nothing. All this money should be used to pay off all your debts that you have, so any car finance, credit cards, student loans, etc. The way to do this is to list all of your debts except your mortgage, as we will worry about this later, and put them in order of balance starting from the smallest to the largest debt. Do not worry about the interest rate, just focus on the balance. Now, you will pay the bare minimum on all of them apart from the first one on the list, which would be your smallest debt. The smallest debt you have, you will attack and pay off as quickly as possible. Throw all of your money onto this, and if need be, do overtime and generate some more cash to get this gone as soon as possible. Once your smallest debt has gone, rinse and repeat the debt reduction strategy. So move on to the next largest debt in the queue and attack it with a vengeance. What will happen are two things. Firstly, the buzz you will get from clearing that small debt will put you on track and motivated to clearing the next one in line. Also, since the first debt is now gone, any money you were spending on this can now be added to your cash flow, which can go towards step number 2. Use this method to get rid of all your debts until you're left with just a mortgage payment. Step 3. Increase that emergency fund to include 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So you've got your small emergency fund put aside to use as your insurance policy whilst you're working on step number 2. And now that you're debt free, apart from the mortgage, it's time to take all that money you were throwing at your debts and increase your rainy day pot to cover all of your expenses for 3 to 6 months. What you're doing here is basically protecting yourself for a longer period, so if you lose your job or there's a huge unexpected bill, then you can be covered for 3 to 6 months without any worry. Step 4. Start saving for retirement. Once you've cleared all your debts apart from your house and have a fully funded rainy day fund, it's time to shift the worry from debts to focusing on the future. So you now need to begin regularly investing 15% of your gross income for retirement. So here's the thing, there isn't an official retirement age in the UK or a default age of retirement. So in essence, you can work for as long as you want and decide when to retire. However, your intention should be to have the option later in life, i.e. you work because you want to, not because you need to. Put that money aside until you get to the point in life where you can go, you know what, I want to retire now. And it may not just be an old age thing where all you do is gardening. You may go and do a job that you really want, or pursue a hobby such as music, drama or art, because you know it's not really a money problem, it's time, and you have the option of doing whatever you want by saving for your retirement. Step 5. Start saving for your children. You can skip this step if you plan not to have any. So you've paid off all your debts except the house and started saving for your retirement. Now the next thing would be to put some money aside for your children. You don't want them starting out in life borrowing money. It's best it's saved up now for them to use as they want in the future, although the aim would be to use it for their college or university fees, accommodation, etc. In the UK, you can open a tax-free junior ISA on behalf of your child. You can pay up to the junior ISA allowance each tax year. This is £9,000 currently. These accounts pay a decent interest rate and they are convenient as you can deposit money whenever it suits you. When your child reaches the age of 18, they will have access to the money. So let's do the maths on this. If you invest the maximum, which is £9,000 a year, for your child from birth to age 18, you will have paid £162,000 into that account. But the icing on the cake is that this account will also earn interest which compounds each year. So say they get an average of 5%, this is the average at the moment. At 18 you will be handing them over just under £229,000. That's not a bad 18th birthday present. Although it's best to be cautious and give them what they need and when they need it when they are starting out on life. Step 6. Now this is a big one. Get rid of that mortgage. So you're completely debt free apart from the house. You have a decent rainy day fund to cover you for 3 to 6 months should things go south. You'll put money aside for your retirement and for your children so they can be financially free. Now it's time to deal with the last big debt, your home mortgage. Your mortgage is the last thing between you and complete financial freedom. Just think about it. Imagine life without any debt or house payments. With the extra money, you can pursue other events, throw more into retirement or your children's savings pots. It's best to learn how much you can overpay. Ultimately, overpaying is a triple-pronged attack as it saves you interest. Any overpayment is interest free. You'll be eaten into the debt, so it clears your debt much faster, and any money you save on interest usually beats the returns you would get if you were to put this money into savings. Step 7. It's time to stack the money, build wealth, and be generous. The last one is an interesting one. So people who don't have any substantial debts or outgoings, you know what they can do? Anything they want. This is a step when you are now financially free. You can find out how much money you have and aim for a figure you know you will be comfortable with. Maybe £500,000, maybe a cool £1 million. You can buy that car, take that holiday, but pay for it in cash. Never borrow or go into debt, because you can't afford it. Out of that, give to those who need, donate, volunteer, help out those who are struggling, make your money go that extra mile. And again, please do subscribe to keep this channel going. Thanks for watching.